You're listening to the Australian Water Association podcast series. My name is Jo Taranto, and I'm joined today by Nicole Blackburn, the Industry Sales Director and Wastewater Segment Director for Schneider Electric. Schneider Electric are global specialists in energy management and automation. And Nicole says her mission at Schneider is to ensure life is on by supporting customers within industry to realise their ambitions through the implementation of the Internet of Things technologies. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, thanks, Jo. It's great to be here.
Can you tell us about the career path that you've had, Nicole, and your current role at Schneider Electric?
Yeah, sure. So I joined Schneider Electric nearly 2 years ago, actually on the 8th of May, so not too far away. And I came in with a little bit of a different background to typically a lot of my colleagues here. So I came in with a background in building and construction and then later in the marine industry. So in my current role, I'm fortunate enough, as you introduced me there, to just have an expanded scope. So it really keeps me on my toes. I just find it such an exciting time at the moment, and with the expanded portfolio that I have, it really helps me to focus on personal and my professional ambitions. And importantly, for me, it's really about helping creating a safer and greener and more sustainable environment. During my time with the marine industry, I focused a lot of energy on developing and promoting solutions to improve access to quality drinking water. And I really bring that attitude to the wastewater segment role that I have. And I think I'm one of those strange people. I can honestly say that I've read the WHO guideline for drinking water quality from front to cover as part of my quest to improve access to safe drinking water on board ships.
Wow. Well, I have not met someone who's done that before. So kudos to you. So you're obviously passionate about water and wastewater, Nicole. What are the major changes that you can see in the water industry, particularly when it comes to sustainability and resilience?
I think the changes that we're seeing today really cross across all industries, and really they're driven by the global megatrends that we see. And just if we talk specifically about the impact on water management. Now, if we start, I guess, with climate change, that today, even after the Paris Agreement and the multitude of pledges that we've seen from other companies, we're still on a trajectory of 3.5 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures. And as we start to see the effects everywhere around the world, looking locally, if we just look across the last 12 months we've had, aside from experiencing a pandemic, we've experienced drought, fire, floods, and then recently in WA, there's the cyclone. And it's important there that what we look at is how we reuse, how we recycle, and then how we harvest rainwater for the future. And the challenge becomes really is about how do we create a resilient and sustainable water supply for our country. If we look specifically around the topic of climate change, for me, it's all about emissions. And if you look at carbon emissions, it's only just an issue really of energy and efficiency. And I think it's around 80% of emissions are due to energy consumption. And the energy consumption has multiplied by 10 in the last century. And if we don't do anything, it's going to be 4 times more just in this century alone. This is in a world where a large portion of the way that we manage energy is already inefficient. I think the statistics are around about 60%. However, sustainability and resilience in becoming a focus to most water industry companies today. And our best chance of success really is to identify together the opportunities that come with this challenge. Also, if we just go beyond climate change and look at some of the other trends and megatrends that impact us globally and locally, let's talk about population growth. Locally here in Australia, we are seeing just perhaps an accelerated pace really of our population moving out of the major cities. And that certainly comes with some challenges. And then you combine this with urbanisation, we've got the rising need there for a sustainable infrastructure solutions. And then along with that was wastewater management. And that then becomes subject to higher treatment standards. And then added to that, there's the growing water consumption needs that we have, and our demands then end up shifting to more remote regions as the population moves out. So it's certainly interesting times. I think these changes are really happening at a faster pace than we've seen before.
And so you've talked about a huge breadth of challenges and opportunities. How has Schneider assisted the water industry in addressing the changes ahead?
Yeah, at Schneider, we're really helping the water industry to electrify and decarbonise, and we do that with our other industries and customers as well. And what we see are two major disruptions. These two disruptions are the energy transition and the digital transition. And what this does, it allows us to think about a world that's much more efficient, much more sustainable, and essentially based on two pillars of energy efficiency and operational efficiency. At Schneider Electric, we think that these two really become impossible to decouple. And so what we look at is, if you want to tackle your efficiency in energy, you need to tackle your processes. So you need to slow down your machines at times. There's going to be times when you need to switch off parts of the building or the plant, and it's all linked. At the same time, if you want to run your operation efficiency, you need to have energy that's also reliable and efficient to sustain that process. So we're talking about one equation for total efficiency. And that for us is how we get to that point of a sustainable future, and the work that Schneider Electric does with our customers. Now, if I zero in and we just talk specific to the water industry, we've got some great examples where we're partnering with our customers to help them address the challenges of reducing their environmental impact. And that comes down to creating that energy efficiency there as well by upgrading aging infrastructure, helping them understand how to manage more effectively non-revenue water, and then also supporting our customers with any CapEx or OpEx constraints that they may have. And I think we certainly can't discount cybersecurity. I'm seeing and reading nearly every day threats of cybersecurity and risks that we have there. And then, of course, workforce management. In some industries, we've got an aging workforce. In others, it's how do you train people up faster and give them the tools to enable them to do so. And then the big topic, nice big general topic of digital transformation, which means everything and all. And then supporting with our solutions on how to manage water scarcity, which is a real issue that the industry faces.
You mentioned some of the benefits there, Nicole, in terms of efficiency, but what are the other benefits for companies and utility providers, as well as consumers and ultimately for the environment?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, probably the way that I would look at that as benefits is that if you look at IoT and digital services as being the complete end-to-end solution, is that's really wherein the benefits actually lie. So as companies are continuing to talk about digitization, what you're essentially dealing with is machines and production. And the goal's not really digitization. The goal's more around controlling the machines to optimize the process and to increase productivity. And that's the benefit, is optimizing the process and increasing the productivity, because that then makes the business more sustainable, more efficient. And importantly is overall is it's not just about the solution itself, but it's looking at what we can do in terms of our services, the benefits there on us helping to co-create. It's because we're leveraging a lot of the experience there. And so if I sort of take a slight step back there a little bit, is we look at sort of the multiple and varied benefits, and some of them are universal and some of them really need to be unique to the needs of our customers. If I refer perhaps as an example to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, where we're having a real positive impact is on SDG 6, which is related to clean water and sanitation. SDG 9, which is related to industry, innovation and infrastructure, and SDG 11 as well, which is related to sustainable cities and communities. So we partner with our local water and wastewater management companies, and that's to help them improve their water and energy conservation. And by doing that, is we're combining digital technology and operational expertise, and that enables a digital operation from endpoint to cloud.
We talked about the risks of not doing anything, Nicole. What does the future look like for you, and what would you call the ideal outcome?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, look, I think it's really hard not to get caught up in just all the exciting possibilities that technology can enable, such as smart cities, so where energy, assets and water are seen as one holistic utility for communities, and then it becomes harmonious in the service to each of those communities. Or on a practical level, looking at level 6 automation, where plants end up self-tuning, and it removes any form of user error. And then we've got this centralized intelligent operations that end up enabling predictive maintenance, business intelligence and remote operations. But bigger picture, I guess, outside autonomous flying vehicles and time travel, I really hope that the future is bright and green, but really urgent action is needed, because the technology exists today to help take us to this greener future state. And an ideal outcome for me will be that all businesses, industries, government and the like really treat climate change with the extreme urgency that it's needed, and that I'm able to leave this planet knowing that we've got a greener and more sustainable future for our future generations. But importantly is, I'm leaving a better place for my son.
That's a pretty compelling call to action, Nicole. I've been speaking with Nicole Blackburn, the Industry Sales Director and Wastewater Segment Director for Schneider Electric. Thank you so much for your time, Nicole.
Thanks, Jo. Been a pleasure.